look at the agents that are being played, Yinsu mentioned it, but DRX have only played this composition once against the team at the very bottom of Pacific. And yeah, it was a dominant win, but only on one half.
Wow, what a beginning. It's Live who has to hold down the fort towards B main. It's going to be that split attempt. Shorty in your face, though. Not lacking any sense of confidence from that, but the site's going to be gained nevertheless here for DRX. Plant down, B main control not going to be theirs either. HFMI with control of that, a good stun and a face, not enough damage. Chipping it down though, and spam through the smoke will eventually finish off Mako. And this is getting really quite dicey on the pistol. Stacks falls, left up to RB. Contacting around HFMI, sets his sights on him, and a pistol round. Going the way of attacking Seoul Esports.
Well played. I love the decision to contest early there and pick up an early pistol. That's going to boost these guys full of confidence. Okay. Attacking Seoul are definitely the team coming into this as underdogs, the team with less experience. The new kids on the block, you might say. Just rustling up to their first global tournament after they qualified quite a long time ago, just because of how the Chinese circuit works.
Yeah.
But they've had a lot of scrim experience against DRX, and that can go both ways.
DRX, they are just trying to brute force almost their old composition they were playing as well, you know, at lock-in back when they weren't really utilizing Foxy 9 as much. It's been turbulent, you know, to keep it lightly.
Absolutely.
The roster that DRX is running, back and forth in terms of who they're trying to field, and changes everything.
You best believe they ain't set on it yet. Just because Foxy 9 is in for this game does not mean that he's going to be in for the entire tournament. Pretty much every time they've started a tournament with Foxy 9, or starting when they say they're going to run Foxy 9, like at lock-in, they've ended up going back to Zest at some point. You know, he's like that partner you just can't get away from.
Yeah. Slow beginning here. The other end of this pistol round, farming up the orbs necessary. Main control still in control. You can see attacking Seoul Esports, heavy emphasis being placed towards there as well. I think this speaks as well to a lot of preparation and understanding, because the way this comp gets used by DRX, they love to try and play their post plans from B main, the A main positions as well. Life on top of Jenny barely cleared out. It's going to be two players falling on either side. Plant will start to go down and exchange of guns on either side on top of it.
Yeah, only one really that's dangerous.
Whoa.
Stacks right here. What are you up to, HFMI? He is so deep.
No chance in hell of anybody being able to follow this one up. Still, they push through into the smokes, trying to take the fight to them with the stingers. And Mako with the lineup. Will it land? Will it buy him some time? But it's being whistled back and now playing together. Pushing him. Trying to play close. Mako also playing his life, but time. The molly as well now going to be fading. Aftershock into the side. That's going to be at least half onto the fuse stock all the way. Mako can't withstand it, not that kind of damage, so a little bit shaky. Attacking Seoul Esports, they do sail their way to that second round win.
I'll teach him to respect.
And so far we have seen DRX just hammering the B site multiple times, Mako dropping back into his post-line position. Yeah, it's not the Neon comp. It's not RB playing Neon and Zest on the Fade, but without DRX having a lot of opportunities to match test this version of the team on this comp, I would expect them to fall back into their own ways of doing this very formulaic stuff over and over. And that does give attacking Seoul Esports an opportunity to punish DRX, you know? And it looks like we're going to get a really big clash down towards Tree. The weaponry is just so poor for the Chinese squad.
Flash, the dash, all the way forwards. Foxy 9 cannot see a thing. Relatively contained, though. The shots are fired through. They do have that player advantage. A quick pivot now as well, making their way over towards the A site. Spike making its way down towards Sun. They haven't cleared the back of the site. Monk's still here, ready and waiting. Shorty in his hands. What can he do with it? Running all the way through onto the sides. The shot's just missing. Monk out in the open. He's cleaned up.
I have the spike.
Bunter's that last player left standing. He does have a rifle.
His position's been given away doubly there by the alarm bot and the Prowler. He's got a molly that would be good for clearing out one area, but he's got to pick and choose. He picks correctly.
Doesn't force RB out into the open like he was hoping for. Fight needs to be isolated, but Buzz was on drop. He's already wrapped all the way around. And any chance of losing this round is really just nigh impossible. Especially when that molly, look at that, sailing all the way across. This is what DRX they love to do when they get set up in these post plants.
And I think at some point here, attacking Seoul Esports have got to be getting the read on that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's just an impossible round for Bunt to win. But the way in which the DRX are approaching this, very similar to what we've seen from them so far in the past. The question really is, when you have a team like Attacking Soul Esports that are still finding their footing on the global stage, do they have what it takes to be able to adjust their style and counter what DRX are doing? And go and, you know, fight aggressively over tree and do some wraparound retakes, deny the positioning that they're going to want for post plants. Because otherwise, DRX are going to just be able to run these execs on you over and over again.
You're going to have something in the back of your mind to just try and put a stop to it. So again,
Find you.
default setup here. Fight to be taken over towards Arcade. Falls over it. Even the ult being committed out to the open. Foxy9, he adjusts the aim, does respond. Rifles exchanged, the bullets as well flying past.
Good smoke from Mako there on top of Generator. When you're playing against a double duelist comp, you've got to be careful of that angle.
Now he's holding it down. Again, that tree position. HFMI has been that solo lurker of late. Fight to be taken. This time spotted though, brought down with 2 players left standing. Again, looks so damn unlikely. At this point, could be potentially calling for the save, but that's just not really in the playbook of some of these Chinese teams. If you've watched them play, you know that they love to fight, but the hand is forced, really.
YH, he looks like he wants to go for it anyway. I can respect the confidence. But it is the wiser decision to back up and keep the Phantom online. You know, talking about confidence as well, and we said Attacking Soul Esports, they're kind of the new kids on the block, this wave of newer Chinese talent that are just so eager for VALORANT to officially release in their region and for the whole scene to get kick-started. I thought it was very interesting listening to them at the press conference and some of the comments that they made before they arrived too. You contrast them to EDG, who've been at a place like this before, and Attacking Soul Esports had been saying, you know, we're going to enter this with a learning mentality, but we do still aim to win the championship. Whereas EDG, who've been to tournaments like this before, said, we're just looking to win a match, make playoffs, you know? And you heard Yinsu talk about it. After running some scrims around here, Attacking Soul Esports saying that they kind of realize they're a below-average team, but it doesn't really matter where your average is if you turn up in the match. And DRX, they might offer you those opportunities. It's been tumultuous for them recently.
It's been all over the place in terms of that consistency, not really present. Life wants to take a fight with the knives in his hands. Prowler's taken care of. Rolling Thunder though. Clears all the way through. It's that weak goodbye, and the shots just aren't quite landing. The Blades finding their marks. Punt will fall though. It's just going to be that pure rifle spam right through all the common corners. Monks going for something quite cheeky. Not getting away with it. All up to YH once more. And again, forced into that position where he's just going to have to back away and save, try and get away with a rifle, but denied even that with Mako watching it.
So after Attacking Soul win the pistol and a bit of a scrappy follow-up, it's been 3 in a row from DRX as they've just hammered these execs home. The DRX style recently has been extremely execute-heavy. Yeah. They haven't really been going for too much nuance, frankly, with what they've been doing. I think it's put a lot of stress on Stacks, the fact that their roster's been moving in and out. But when you play against a team that can't stop the execs, I mean, DRX just get their perfect game. Insight every time, plant down, play the post plants. And
yeah, when they're not being really pushed back in any manner or form, if you're not fighting for that B main control, the A main control on the defensive side, you can start to see DRX really run away with it. Mako's built up the orbital strike. It's another tool that he can use. Potentially in the post plant. Bunt is so close to this corner here. There's nobody really to support him in the air. Out into the open, sprayed down. YH making the most of it. Can't get the second. It's cleaned up.
I like this though. Look at the duelist reacting, taking back this position. And this is where Mako's going to fall back to after they get the plant down. Now, having said that, usually he's not the one with the spike. So with Mako planting, it's going to have to be somebody else re-clearing this area.
There's a little bit of a hesitancy because you can see they realize, oh, we don't have a main control. RB's the one who has to pick up the pieces. He's going to meet in the opposite end of these rifles. Fight's still being taken. Oh, Foxy9 really turning up. He's low though. Nade forcing him out into the position. He falls to it, and it's just down to Buzz. He's playing the nano swarms across the map. Bit of a difference of an approach. It's broken though. And now he's forced to try and take this fight here. Showstopper over the top, and there we go. Rocket sailing right past. Collects and rewarded. 3-3 being that round score, so Diffuse is stuck all the way.
A big ult, big Diffuse, round on the board. That's going to start the confidence going again for the birthday boy of HFMI.
Yeah.
I believe he's 22 today. That's a nice little birthday present, isn't it? Being able to play at Masters Tokyo.
Maybe we'll see even more. Might be a day of celebrations, Josh.
It could be.
Early days.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, They're the massive underdogs, though. It's got to be reiterated. DRX, huge favorites to be able to take this game. Their win rate in the group stage of tournaments like this is 78%, did you say to me earlier, Brad?
78% in terms of their group stage matches.
Crazy.
They are dominant at the beginning of these tournaments. Whenever teams have the unfortunate circumstances of running into them.
Here's a little contact north side crunch.
Buzzy's trying to rummage and run to the ropes. Nope, he will not be able to latch onto that. So a bit of a punish.
Bit of an aggressive position by Buzz, but he was expecting them to use utility earlier than that. Got caught out.
Orbital lockdown, Orbital Strike has to be used for it, yeah. An exchange of the ultimates, just 1-for-1.
But he caught life as well.
Oh, the life falls to that. So post-plan positions for DRX once more. Still have that tree control, Josh. I'm telling you, it's important.
It is incredibly important. It's where Mako's going to be playing from almost all the time. I'd love if they sent HFMI underneath.
Straight to the side, Showstopper does not collect a kill. It's all over the place, but still anchored to the side here. It's RB to do the most, but again, you have this aftershock to deal with. And then there's the molly. They lay her out on top of one another. It's body blocked. Cheeky play there by Monk. I think that was in the moment call. He tried to shoulder check it, but it's not enough to offset the trajectory of it. And now the fight needs to be taken close and personal, exactly where Mako likes it. Stun rips its way through with the fault line to set up the easy kill there, but you can see almost just the in-the-moment decision-making of attacking Seoul Esports. Maybe they could have got something done, but...
And they've got some ults to work with, but this has still been comfortable for DRX. And I think that that'll be breath of relief for them, to be honest. Having this kind of decent start to the game when you're running a team that you haven't been playing with in the lower bracket final and the grand final Pacific, and also a composition that you've only run once. Normally when they have Foxy9 and RB in here, they're going to play double duelist, something like that. Jet Rays or Neon Rays.
This is explosive.
Life's got it all to do on A.
Yeah, right through Sand, Life holds it. Has the dash, will not get much more though. Couldn't activate it, couldn't disengage. Again, that sight's going to be theirs. It's again, very standard from DRX. They love to do the splits into A, straight through Sand, normally with RB on the Neon, so...
Yeah, and
hide his presence with the fast lane a bit more, but... Yeah.
The fact that there isn't a Neon does offer more opportunities for attacking Seoul to find those timings and throw counter utility, hold their ground a little more, you could argue too, because you don't have that pace. I mean, you look at the way that Foxy9 is being able to entry, and he's sometimes quite far ahead of the rest of the DRX players, but we're not really seeing attacking Seoul try and stop the hits. They're playing retake every round. This is going to be a very difficult one again. Monk's got 5 health.
Yeah, you just got to drop off there. You got to save the rifle for the next smart play.
And on a half-buy round, it stings a little bit when you're the player with the rifle and you haven't really been able to have any impact, but that's the way it goes. It is tough, though. DRX, they look very coordinated on these executes. The real part where we've seen DRX tested recently is when you're able to stop the execs, and then DRX have to go to their backup plans, slow things down, the mid-rounding. That's where the crumble has started to occur sometimes. But in this game, smooth sailing. I'm looking for an adjustment. What I'd like to see here is, sure, attacking Seoul Esports are not going to commit heavily to hard anchoring the sites, right? But they have a breach ult to work with. And instead of playing that for a set retake where you all leave the site and then you go in together, I'd like to see them try and place one player on site and use the breach ult to flood back in and help the player that's committed. Now, weirdly, YH does tend to hard anchor on breach on A. So that isn't really going to help him if he continues doing that.
It's the same setup from DRX. I mean, you just go for the B split. No contesting towards tunnel or B main, so it's a free lockdown. There's no orbital strike in place, so it can't be removed. It's going to clear out of sight. Look at Life. I mean, the guy's none the wiser. Plan's going down, though. He will be detained. So maybe there's going to be a follow-up here from attacking Seoul Esports. Anything to try and offset it. Dodging, juking, weaving, Rolling Thunder comes in. It's a little bit too late, close to Jenny. Nano Swarm in the smoke. Everybody's just wading right through it, and Buzz is eviscerating them. Can't withstand that. Across the ropes, giving a hop, cheeky movement. HFMI, how's he getting away with that? Plan goes down, and now you're really feeling the heat, but all revealed from the haunt. The spray transfer of Mako is immaculate.
There he is, the closer, the most consistent player, and arguably the best controller we have in the world right now. Just cleaning things up towards the end. And that's a nice idea from ASE. They did what I was talking about in terms of trying to support the players by popping that breach ult as they're getting back in. Unfortunately, they just hard committed to it too much. When it's countered by a nanoswarm, you can't just give your life by running over the top of it. You've got to pause and respect that. Bear in mind, too, that with Mako getting those last couple off the Haunt reveal, this is only RB's second time ever playing Fade. The only other time he's played Fade was when DRX ran this against DFM.
Yeah.
He is hyper flexible.
Being asked to step up as well. You know, not too sure how much time they've had in terms of practice, but having to fill into these roles.
I mean, that's a very good question, Brent.
Yeah.
How much time have they had to practice, and with what team?
Exactly. What iteration of the roster, because it has been chopping and changing. This time, look at Buzz. He's learned his lesson. He's like, okay, well, you contacted that one round. I'm going to hug close to the rope this time, so I can't give anything away.
Yeah, I mean, Buzz is not actually being required to lurk here at all, because the site execs are working so well. So why not? I mean, play it as safe as you possibly can. Just give info to the rest of your team on where to react to in the rest of the map. I think this makes perfect sense from Buzz.
DRX not willing to overplay their hand. It's been very slow at the beginning.
And Attacking Soul Esports need some information here. They need to find out where the exec is going to come through, but nobody really looking like they want to take a push. They don't have any information agents either, so that really comes down to life and HFMI to take more aggressive duels.
Prowler might be taken. Foxy's right across there, rolling thunder. It does clear through, but it's a 2-for-2. 3-on-3 action through the smoke there. Bund takes great timing as the spike drops down to the floor. Control gain for it. A solo fight by HFMI. No one's ready to follow up, but time is running so damn short. And Mako, when he's cleaned up, it's all up to Buzz. He does not have a lot to work with, does he? The resource is running out. 6 seconds remaining. Has to isolate and force 2 of those fights, and he will not get it. So, it's going to be that 4th round on the board. Attacking Soul Esports.
That's a big one. It really is. That's the first time where we've seen Attacking Soul Esports be able to stop a push when it's happening by isolating Foxy9 from the rest of the team. Now, Foxy9 is in a different zip code from the rest of his team there on the entry.
Earlier, man, he's way ahead of his team when he's going for these entries.
Right, and that's the kind of thing where when you play against a team that doesn't punish it, it looks like he's, you know, a fantastic entry player, but that has been something that's tripped them up and lent them more towards the Zest iteration of the roster. That time getting punished, but mostly in this map, it's been smooth sailing. Can Attacking Soul Esports take that and make something of it?
Stun, close to the side, just spotting the shoulder. Foxy9!
Beautiful.
Lovely reset. It's 2 collected.
And his mechanics are never in doubt. Bunt is in such an odd spot here, just hiding in the smoke.
In the main smoke. He knows he's surrounded. Locks onto it. Mako's taken out. Gonna have his util there, and A main controls also there. There's a fight to be taken towards B main, but all is happening. Orbital strike clears through, no kill to be found off of it. This positioning is so awkward. Stacks, it's brought down low. Only close to the corner. And you see a wide fight, and they do double face it. At the same time here, DRX need to get a bit of a move on. They don't have control of any of this. What a position. What a kill to find. Nano Swarm, it's too short. Doesn't land onto it, damage done, still spamming. Stops to defuse, and Buzz. He contains. Safe hands from him, and it's a red ball clutch.
Oh, what a play there towards the end from Buzz. He knew that his Nano Swarm had failed. I thought for a moment he would rely on that piece of utility too much, not be able to win the 1v2. But his spam, perfect. And Foxy9 sets it up with a double kill. Buzz closes it. That was almost Bunt's round. He hid inside that smoke, got a kill, got his orbital strike online, almost got stacks. There were so many good things in that round, and yet DRX, the player quality, just drags them forwards.
Final round of the first half. That's again a very similar beginning here for DRX. I mean, they love to do it. The splits into B. This time though, they dump a bit of that util. Now biding their time, wetting it out, but they still have control of tunnel. So there it is, laying down the ult. Orbital strike was used prior, so again, nothing to break this.
This would be a good time for Monk to use his ultimate and deny their entry.
Oh, Bounce! He just wants to take the fight! Life up into the corner, double updraft, he's avoiding it, dash! Disengage, re-engage, he's all over the place! What a kill to find the Bucky! That's 2 in tower, Mako. Rocket to the side, dodging, juking, trying to avoid it. Damage is done, and the kill and the round is theirs. Attacking Soul Esports making it respectable.
And Brent, can you tell you're watching Chinese Valorant? Because I feel like I can. Life's play there is ridiculous. Bunt just decides he's had enough of letting them get free execs, and Life double updraft into the corner to dodge it, and then gets a 2K with a Bucky.
Yeah, I mean, what are we watching? The Fortnite World Cup? It's like some double pump action or something, man. I mean, he's just got the shotty up there. It's crazy stuff. What a beginning here, the first half of Fracture. Mac obviously leading as well, but yeah, listen, maybe more than respectable here. I certainly hope so. I mean, listen, it's been electric so far. Really just, you know, that sheer impact that Chinese Valorant has, man. I mean, they are so willing to take fights. The unorthodox play is sometimes the best one.
I don't want to put a damper on it as well, though, but the last time DRX ran this comp, they only ran it once against DFM. They had a 5-7 half, and then they won 8 rounds in a row on their defense side. So, you know, DRX potentially set up for absolute dominance if you look at the sample size of 1 that we have in the past for them running this comp.
Yeah, I think it's a decent point brought up by Benkai about increasing the tempo, increasing the pace a little bit. Disrupting those timings. Don't let DRX set up themselves for any sort of retakes, and that is a lovely fight to be taking.
Yeah, also though, Foxy9 peeking in front of the stun, right? Whoa, Stacks. Zest isn't in the lineup. Come on. Yep. All right, Stacks is throwing that fault line through there so that Foxy9 can set up on a peak, and he's actually peeking in front of when that stun is going to hit. So that gives Life the opening kill, and Attacking Soul Esports are really slow here. They're trying not to give anything away to DRX. And I don't mind this as long as it ends in something explosive onto the site.
45 seconds, roughly. Smoke's going to be dropped down. That's going to be the indicator. Buzz is feeling it. Abs off to the side, flash as well. He dodged it, jumping all over the place. The right clicks eventually. Ready to breathe. No bullets in the clip. It's back and forth. This way, that way, in and out of the smokes. Providing that coverage. Obfuscating. A bit of a transfer attempt there with a frenzy all up to YH. Picks up the Ghost, reloads. It's
That's
a
the same
1v2.
Ghost that had
it
no
is.
bullets in.
Now, already punishing 2 of the players still. What can YH do? Over the top of the horn, wants to isolate one of the fights, but can't land the shots. Tried to reset it, tried to calm it down. Pissed around to DRX.
Great play from Stacks there. I mean, he's had so much on his plate as the IGL recently in terms of the roster being moved around for DRX, and I think there's fair criticisms to level at how he's leading the team, but his breach on Fracture, there are never any criticisms that are fair of this. The way that he plays out through this smoke, jiggling in and out, realizing he's not being held, and all of the stuns that he has to be able to punish, the one for Foxy9 to peek, one that goes into heaven or that disrupts hits from coming through. He looks immaculate on the breach on this map.
Yeah, it's all really nice. Big group up here. Attacking Soul Esports. Knocked down to the eco on the north side, but they are steadily gaining control. A drop here.
I like this. Throw something funky in there. 4 players from drop.
Fault line, smokes. Dropped across here. Foxy9 in a bit of trouble, yet nevertheless still able to collect those 2 kills.
Where are you going, YH?
Just waded into the spawn, hoping that he wasn't spotted, but no, the tail end of him caught out in the open. It will be that plan. They push that one back, so get themselves into the post plan. It's a bulldog in the hands of Monk. Maybe we'll see something. Reposition here. One of the help out, but force that fight. That is lovely. Real precise there, snappy. That's how RB's looking for the form currently.
So clean follow-up from DRX, and they keep 4 Bulldogs in there. A bit of a different way of approaching the anti-eco round. I wonder if that's because they're giving maximum respect to Attacking Soul Esports' chances of going for something ludicrous with a force or buckies all over the place or whatever it may be. But it's going to give them some decent riflery to be able to work into the next round.
Placing swamp grenade.
And you heard Benkai on the desk talk about it. He wanted the pace to be increased for Attacking Soul Esports. Normally the double duelist comps are going to want to fight very aggressively once they get to a site. And so far we've seen Attacking Soul kind of slowly get their way to that exec space and then burst.
Placing alarm bot.
This is their buy around.
It's going to be the same again. Quite slow, contacty, not really using any utility at the beginning to fight for map control. And that's going to give DRX so much kind of info around the map here. They've got an alarm bot deep towards tree.
Smoke's held. No util to really just supplement that swing from HFMI. He just wanted to take the fight.
There was a fault line actually thrown from YH, but it only went towards one side of Halls. And that's the problem with using it 20 seconds into the round, is that you just don't know where people could be positioned. If you do that at the start, yeah, they have to be there.
Smoke's in his hand, drop down now.
Swamp grenade out.
Flash as well, but still looking to try and anchor. He knows the tower is compromised. He's holding that. Will there be a swing together? The timing is taken, and the smoke is watched for. Barreling through. They do gain the site, but you better get that plant. They don't have control of B main anymore. It's a big wrap around, a whole very large flank. So Foxy9 looking to try and take control of this with stacks. A ton of util left at their disposal. And here's the first part of it. Fault line. Into the corner. Flash. Let's catch. Foxy9's weak. Stunned up though. There's a counter stun. That's quite nice. Post-plan positions though. That's the aftershock to push them out into the open. It's up to Life to contain. And wow, does much more than that. 3 in the round. Basically wins it for them.
Great work. I liked his pathing on the execute itself as well, going up through tower, applying such a pinch on any player that was deciding to anchor on the site. He's a top fragger from the team, and we heard the devs talking about the fact that they think he's brought some experience from EDG too. Remember that this is a player that, while he was playing for a long time on EDG, the best team in China, he actually only got really half of his opportunity to play at a big global tournament like this. He ended up falling ill, missing out to Smoggy, who ended up subbing in, and then eventually full-time replacing him. So, Life should have perhaps more experience under his belt at these global tournaments than he does. He made the trip before, but only ended up being able to play 1 match. So this will be a great opportunity for him to really show what people were missing last time around.
Absolutely. I mean, we know this guy's got firepower. I'm telling you, Josh, the amount of VODs I watched where he was just absolutely dry swinging through smokes and killing 3 was unbelievable.
I mean, the combo of Life and HFMI, they love doing that.
Yeah, it's a speciality.
Or just with a single piece of utility, so that they can prove to the team, look, I didn't dry swing.
Yeah,
it was supported.
It was supported. HFMI pushed up into the 4 position, but he's spammable behind the box, so has to disengage, reposition now, and he set his team up now for a bit of a B-pop.
Exactly, but Buzz has spotted the information. This is going to call the rotate very quickly.
Yep, Smokes immediately dropped down. Look at that. Quick to support. Playing inside the Smokes. Buzz wants to try and hunt him down, and indeed he does. Life, he falls. No one can get past this Smoke. There's a molly drop down at the feet, so nobody could follow up off of that dash.
And look at how good DRX are at stopping the execute from coming through.
Oh, they just waited out though. They want to take the fight anyway. Swinging through, they bide their time. Stacks attempting to adjust as well, but the aim can't quite land that spray transfer. RB just wide out into the open. He'll fall. Lovely little switch up, I think, into the timing there for attacking Seoul Esports. Foxy even denied as well the chance to grab the orb, and he's essentially forced to save here.
Yeah. So, couple of things done really well by both teams. DRX showcasing how you stop the exec from coming through, throwing down Mako's molly very early on, and then Buzz goes into the cloudburst to try and hunt down that duelist that's ahead of the rest of the pack. He knows that the rest of the pack is being blocked out by Mako's molly at that point. But attacking Seoul Esports have this double pump. So there's 2 waves to the aggression. First wave, Life goes in. Second wave, they go in with the rest of the pack and all the rest of the utility that they have. And that completely caught DRX off guard there. That's how all of the top teams are playing at the moment. If you watch them, you know, the best of the best, they tend to have this 2-wave cycle of aggression when they push into sites. 1 to bait out the defending utility, and 1 to actually get bodies into the site. Well played there.
Yeah, with a team like DRX, when they're so purposeful, they're disciplined, they're regimented, they like everything to be quite precise in order when they're taking these fights. When you throw in that little mix-up, you know, like you said, the first bit of waves of utility use, and the second one as well, just when they're not quite expecting it, it really does throw a team like DRX off guard. Kept off balance. Now, can they equalize in the map?
There's a 4-player stack on A, and I think it's all to set up Foxy9 for duels. There is not a soul from attacking Seoul Esports wanting to go into halls right now. They've all got their beady little eyes on it, just watching over in that direction, waiting for someone on DRX to come out, and instead pathing over towards Tree. It looks like ASE are very aware.
Buzz has been just jiggle spotting that angle as well for information. Backs away, does have the judge. Full contact, breaking the turret, waiting to see if there's any form of utility that's going to be used by DRX, but no, there's not. So now they can lay down these smokes. Still have to clear out tower, and it could become a problem for them. Nade to the back, plan starts to go down, a triple face, triple flank all the way through, but just wasn't quite ready for that one, and still tower control is theirs. A fight to be taken by attacking Seoul Esports, trying to match them. Flick to the side, lovely reactions. YH doing the most there. They know that RB is contained, isolated, he's alone here, but oh, beautiful, and he survives, 85 health. maybe make another go of it, but eventually shut down. That's nicely handled, honestly. They didn't rush into that. Not trying to take control of tower. They knew that they didn't have it the entire time. They set their sights on that flank attempt that was coming through into B main, the tree area, dealt with that first, and then circled back to try and take care of us.
It's clean. It's also an anti-eco. DRX didn't have any weaponry to work with there, and that puts all of the emphasis on this round coming up. This is going to be the most important round of the map right now, round 18, because it's a swing round economically for DRX. They don't have enough to be able to buy next time properly, and there's tons of ults to play with. This looks like a fast-paced play. This molly goes into tower.
Backside of tower. It's all being synced up though.
I mean, Foxy9's just going to get trapped here. He's going forwards!
Yeah, well, a showstopper in his hands. He's just ripped right out of his hands, out of the air. The kill is claimed. Inside of attacking Seoul Esports. Util now being dumped forwards. It's RB who's left again to try and survive against this onslaught. In and out of the smoke, spamming through stacks. He does seek to help out. He does assist as well onto the side left up to that one player. It's Bunt. Rifle, orbital strike, but the spike is in the middle of nowhere and he doesn't really have a clue as to where the positioning could be. One smoke left. Drop down. Cuts up one of the sight lines, one of the angles. The potential was there, but Buzz does shut it down.
So that's a major win for DRX. Like I said, their economy would have been in shambles had that gone the opposite direction. And here's another big theme of how DRX are playing the B side. They're just walking through these smokes. I mean, see if we catch any of these in the replay. Yep, there goes Stacks. 2K just walking through the smoke. Hey! And Mako did the same thing on the other side too. So in terms of these small adjustments that ASE need to make, when they're doing the B execs, they need to leave somebody on permanent, just watch the smokes duty. And even more so than that, maybe they need to invest a molly into there or something. Throw a nano swarm, a nade, a molly. Sure, I know you want to save those things for post-plant.
He's right through it, swinging. Normally you do see the nano swarms just lay it down as those hits are coming through to prevent anybody from really playing through in and out of those smokes, but we'll see what the adjustments are. It's getting dangerous though. DRX plenty of ultimates to work with now.
Life thought about buying an operator while we were in the tactical timeout. He had the op, you know, hovered, purchased, and has decided to swap it for a Vandal. So perhaps aiming for something pacier, and it really is.
Yeah, here we go, stunned close to the corner. There's an attempt again from Stacks. He tries to take that fight. He loses it, lined up!
Swap it for a Vandal.
In his hands is activated. Maybe he wants to sync it up though. Monkey's gained complete control of drop and he's watching it. It's pixel perfect. First kill's claimed. RB still left to anchor down towards the back of the side. He's left alone, no orbital strike. He'll clear him out. All the way right back to the side. Bullets raining down on this position. Down to Buzz. It's a 1v2. One away from the lockdown, but probably not too many chances of using it. Turret spots him. Holds in, it's a wide swing and well.
Oh, that's so dangerous.
So dangerous. I like the attempt. I mean, listen, a 3-2-1, take the fight, but Buzz looked like he was cool, calm, and collected, almost ready for it there.
Yeah, and it wasn't off turret contact, so they weren't exactly sure where Buzz was positioned. He nearly got a lineup and sprayed them both down. My heart was in my mouth there. But they punish Stacks for playing on a bit of a weird angle. Foxy9 gets punished because he's not tucked around the wall. Mako goes for an info peek when he has orbital strike online. There is certain sloppiness gathering into the DRX play right now. And again, this with the context, the DRX have been in a bit of a slump at the moment compared to what you'd expect from them recently. And last time they played this comp, they were dominant on the defense side. So already, they're not quite finding the value that you would be looking for from them. And it's opened a door for ASE.
DRX dropped down to the weaker guns. Now I'll take an attempt towards tower. What spots that one out? Monk. That's a lockdown. What kind of timing is he waiting for? Well, actually using it.
Yeah,
an orbital strike, and look at the rest of his team.
I think this is great to just draw out the orbital strike from Mako on an eco round. Mako can't use that on a really important eco swing round now.
ASE have no intentions of landing themselves towards B. They're already making their way over towards A. Updraft dash towards the side. The trace is pointing out exactly where RB was. Rifle picked back up though. Salvage in the mix. Monk's catching all sorts of lurks as well. He's going to be that thorn in their sides now towards the north side of the map. Left up to just 2, and DRX left Really scrambling. They don't have the guns for this. Over towards the side. That is really quite good. Flawless.
And well played. Some great shooting there from Life and HFMI. We're yet to see the birthday boy really getting online there, Alphabet Brother, but Life has certainly got his legs underneath him. And we're seeing him, obviously that one, through the smoke. But just in general in this second half, I really feel like this Jet player from ASE is finding his moments to take duels and deliver impact. Now we see tactical timeout being called by DRX. Now, if you've been watching the Pacific region at all this year, you will know that these tactical timeouts have been a major talking point. I mean, Termi's been not calling them in some important games. He's been, you know, messing all this to talk about how they're going to use them, when they're going to use them. This one, I believe the first call by Termi at 10-10. And it makes sense because DRX have only won a single rifle round in this half so far.
Yeah. The attacking rounds, I mean, you just look at the timeline, it is so one-sided right now. Attacking Seoul Esports with a great read. I mean, really just the pistol round and the follow-up is what DRX are really working with, other than that one rifle round that you're talking about. Now they're going to have a coming rounds. It's going to be the buy round versus the buy round, but
that's why this timeout, I think, becomes so important.
Exactly.
They need to figure out what attacking Seoul Esports are doing that's working well. And to be honest, you know, I'm talking about how DRX have only won one rifle round. Attacking Seoul Esports have also only won two, but they've won the really important ones that have pushed DRX on into bad buys. So even when DRX are winning, it's scrappy. They're not getting the clean ones to build up their economy. Sliggy's going to be having a field day at home, just circling people all game. Look at this guy, can't buy. Look at Mako.
Yep. Economy management, financial advice. Sliggy.
So this looks like the same molly. Yep, here it is. So this is just going to be an all-in piece, and now the pressure is on Buzz instead. Again, it's the player in tower, but different person this time.
Fault line.
Buzz gets out.
Yeah, there you go. Seeing it all synced up with the util. And a Swamp to try pushing it back again, close, anchoring towards the side. Buzz needs to land a shot again. Mako! And Stacks to follow through. Huge plays. Crossfire set up. Oh, that's messy.
Why is he taking the fight?
Scrappy. Spike dropped down in the smoke. That's where Stacks was looking for something else entirely. The reposition. Spike still dropped down. He's left it into a 2-on-2. Mako right through. And my God, just bailing him out of that one, wasn't he?
If Mako is not perfection in that moment, DRX have thrown that away. Because he was getting pressured from so many different positions and spammed through the box.
And yet still.
And he just had two of his teammates losing in positions where they could have played the situation much more safe. And yet he still stands as an absolute pillar. A rock, an island against the Tempest.
Oh. Can always rely on Mako. Can always rely on him, man.
Ooh.
The fact that it gets that close.
Here it is again.
Feels nasty. And yeah, same set of util that gets dumped in through.
They're not faking it either.
There's the attempt by Buzz. You can see him. He's trying to get his head on it, I think, as well.
The molly
knock the molly. Yeah, he knocked it out. He used his body to body block it, and he's still got tower control. They know exactly what to expect. Reinforcements have arrived right through the smoke. The Horns as well follows that one through. Now they know tower's not theirs. Round the side with the shorty, making the most of it. But the smokes will watch this time, and DRX. 4 players left standing versus just the one of YH. You know exactly where he is. Have to isolate so many of these. It's not likely. No crumbs. Nade pushing it back, 2 HP and a dream, but DRX purely set up now for that one. Towards that map point, that 12th round.
And once more, Mako and Stacks combining together to destroy a B hit from coming through. ASE need to give up on this play. I'd love to see the highlight as well.
I mean, it's purely being disrupted by Buzz just playing a game of football. Yes. I mean, he's literally just he's getting his head on the molly and disrupting it.
I think back to that Lothar tweet from like 2021 or something, when he's talking about body blocking utility and everyone clowning on him. Boaster doing a TikTok of him headbutting stuff out the way, and here we see it. Years later, Lothar was just ahead of his time. But this is going to put pressure on ASE. They've run this B play now a number of times. I'd love to see them try and fake it. You know, send they breach Flash Arcade and they send a piece of utility through there early, and then they also have that molly. If they just do those and go back into an A split, I think they'd have a really nice fake potentially set up. But this is where your strat book gets tested, okay? DRX have actually had some sloppiness here. So you've got an opportunity, you really do. 2 more rounds after you've had such a good attack half, and you might be able to take this into OT, possibly win, and start generating some momentum for yourself. This is, you know, I know that they've come into this thinking about it being a learning moment, but you've got to take your opportunities when they're presented, and this map feels like one.
Can't let it slip away, that's what the timeout's for. Throw in that mix-up, but teams like Attacking Soul Esports, you turn up at the big international events. Sometimes you just need a couple more reps under your belt before you start throwing in the mix-ups. Getting that big stage experience across the board, but you have 2 chances to do it. DRX just need the 1 to try and close out this map, end it up.
They'd also benefit from Life hitting some good shots. He's got his Bladestorm online. He's been quiet in the last couple.
Get out of
Be a flash fast towards Sand again. Prowler or the Boombot. Holds his back. Down a little bit.
Here.
Slight chip damage, but they're going to be taking that Sand control. Now they slow it all the way down with the smoke in their face. It's left a lot of confusion, hasn't it?
I promise you, Monk, they can't hear that at LAN.
He's worried about it. Snack's still holding this Rolling Thunder.
Mako went for an info peek earlier that got punished very heavily.
He's gone for it again. It's a slight jiggle. Doesn't get his head ripped off. It's a flash repeat. Play being made. What? HFMI, I mean, the reactions from that man, he increased the DPI of his mouse to dodge that.
And Life did the same.
This way, that way, does not matter. Now the rocket. Sent flying down to the close corner. Foxy9, he's got to try and anchor. He's got one of his own. The ult, it connects, it lands, and just like that, they all fall down. It's up to YH. Can he salvage the round? Can he salvage the map? It's a 1v3, no more util to work with. There's a lockdown there. There's one. Will not get the second. Shut down. And it's DRX. Listen, it's shaky.
Backside is really looking rough, and they're going to start on defense here. So that's a conversation for after the halftime, but that's kind of setting the scene for how heavy favorites DRX are in this. They're obviously favorites for the match overall, but part of that is because they've just got maps like this where they should be dominating.
Let's get it going. Explosive now towards A main. Walls rip across, flashes on top of it as well. Mako is keen to take up some space towards B main as well. DRX is doing this.
Yeah, they look like they're really aware that this comp can fight aggressively. They've got a lot of flashes to work with.
Here we go, Wall, straight up Life. Right behind screens. Still has a dash, he's really just making the most of this, look at that. Spam into the corner. Quick reload of the Sheriff, but a great opening pick for them. Can he convert it into anything else? Foxy9, so separated from the rest of his team with that dash deep onto it. The Cove also still up for now. RB just running right through them. To the back of Horse here, needs some help from the rest of his team to try and collapse and collide. HFMI, what can he do? Still right through the pillar. Everybody going to be falling who tries to flood into it. Spike still not down, Monk. It's a chance. Spike starts to get planted in the default spot.
Spike planted.
Snakebite, drop down, reload of the gun.
Wow, Mako has just done him.
Yep, the wall gets used to reposition, and it's just a crossfire setup.
I mean, it's Buzz that ends up getting the kill, but look where Mako was. He'd managed to get the plant down, wiggle around behind the wall, and get into B-Link before anyone even realized what was occurring. So, I think ASE had their chances to be able to win that round. It just comes down to those kind of duels, where RB is going to be able to pick up 2, and then Bunt gets stuck behind the pillar. They had people in position to be able to defend, but not quite able to win the gunfights once Life went down. Life is going to be an incredibly key player for them on the defense side. They need to get him active. They have 2 initiators, a lot of tools to be able to push him onto angles. But likewise, DRX have a lot to be able to shift him away from angles too. Cascade's always going to be in his face, the Sky utility. And Stax likes to use his Trailblazer early, which isn't always the best, but against a Jet that's really aggressive on defense like Life, I think he's going to find a lot of value out of that.
Ty, this comp, you're playing against the Viper in the Harbor. It is brutal to play against if you're a Jet player.
Or you could just try this.
Yeah, Life is close to the corner, but like you said, Josh, it's the Trailblazer. It's used really far back.
Oh, he dashed into the door.
Dashed into them. I mean, he's trying to make the most of it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But close corners cleared now. barreling forwards from DRX. Flash over the top does connect. Will they catch this close corner? YH is there. In fact, they've got 3 players all stacked up. It's been slowed down a tad. Is there going to be a hot flash play? Well, with Yuchen dying, not quite. It's not going to be likely. No more flashes now to play with, but I feel like the tempo switch up. There is a flank attempt that's also happening as well on the opposite side of the map. I mean, HFMI waiting for some sort of timing. Cove, though. It blooms, it blossoms, it gets the safe plan. Set themselves up now.
For the classic DRX post plan. Yeah. This is what Benkai was talking about, how important these level of flanks are going to be. I mean, you can see HFMI.
Team wall drop forwards. Wide face as well. A couple of players forward.
I think, though, already you're seeing that, you know, when your Sky player is going for a flank in the post plan, that kind of implies to me, like, Attack It All Esports have sat down and they've said to each other, right, we need to be able to flank on these retakes. We've got to stop allowing Buzz and Mako to just play Snakebite and Nanoswarm lineups from the back of B-Long. So, I'm not mad about that. As long as they have the right idea, the right approach, I think that's going to bode well for the tournament overall.
It's all about those timings, though. It's so tricky to find them against this comp because those windows of opportunity that you get when you're playing against the Viper Harbor on Pearl, you let them set up in the post plan, it's brutal. You miss those chances so easily. So standard affair, Cascade pushed up close now. You see the Reckoning, this was built up prior. Clears out towards the site. YH really wants to try and fight for this one. The knife does get a decent tag with Foxy9. He is landing his shots today. Nothing to offset him.
Got tagged up inside his own Cloudburst as well and was still able to go for the wide swing and take down YH. Unfortunate there for Attack It All that they weren't able to find a pick early.
Now forced to try and take this fight into them. Well, okay. Phantom spam onto it. Foxy9's dealt with it towards the back of Halls, but again,
he's the only player.
Remember what I was talking about. It's time pressure. It's the biggest question mark when you're playing against this comp because they're going to have Snakebites, they're going to have Nanoswarms, they're going to have the whole kitchen sink being launched like a trebuchet from range all the way through. RB playing close to the pillar as well, an attempt to try and push them back. Yeah, Live, he's got the dash back, 5 bullets. No easy fight. Not in the slightest, and with 1 health remaining, Monk cannot withstand it.
And that is the barrage of utility that ASE need to somehow navigate their way around. And we've seen 2 different approaches, you know, one on a round where they only had classics, but still a viable approach of being able to flank and create pressure from behind. And the other approach that Life tried to go for there is to go aggressive, push forwards, and take duels. The issue for me is Life didn't have that aggressive high tide to play with. He's not being supported by smoke utility, or really by any utility. They're just trying to take the fight. That's going to make things much more difficult.
This is the way the DRX love to play this map. Attack side and the defense side, it's heavy prioritization on the extremities of A and B. They want to farm up the orbs as well. The Reckoning is so important just for how this entire composition is played. So you can see that's where they've been prioritizing it. RB's 2 away now from that ult. He's just used it.
Careful here.
It's crazy how quick you can get the ult online.
Yeah. When you're putting a plan on him as well, just all the ultos being funneled. Dash forwards from Foxy9. He's trying to cut this one up. No one was watching it. Stacked.
Trade.
Beautiful trade. Looked like his aim wasn't going to be adjusted in time with that one. He was just popping out of the smoke, but still, they haven't cleared towards the back of the site. There's a cove in the way, though, and when you're spamming it through the wall, Fragment nade drop down on top of it. It's all just a little bit too late.
And you get both of the post-plant agents playing over towards Art. So it's kind of weird what Buzz and Mako are going for right now, actually. They were both playing Art, and now they're so far away, anticipating some people to flank or be pushed.
Lineups from there?
No way, surely not.
I don't know.
Wait, there it is.
Really far back. Yeah,
There's
they are.
Snakebite.
They're just playing lineups from absolute Narnia, man. I mean, they are miles away, but the fight taken anyway. ASE, they realize it. Time is of the essence. Got to be playing towards it. The defuse as well. It's denied. There's only 1 player left. It's Buzz. Can he win his fight out? He can. The knife's not paying off. The fuse has to be stuck. Has to be covered. The players are low, but they do just that. Okay. ASE round on the boards. It's ludicrous, isn't it? It's crazy.
I mean, when you think DRX are going to, you know, fight something aggressively and support each other, you see you see Buzz and Mako just evacuating into mid to play lineups over into A. And really, that's what ends up hurting them. Like, there's a certain line that you need to tread between being in position to actually spam the plant and being in safe positions to unload your utility. That, I think, was a little too far in one direction. But very funny.
We see it again.
You don't get more of a DRX post plant than that.
No, you don't. I mean, it's so passive all the way back. Deep knife. I believe they're getting any tags on that one, but again, when I was talking about the reckonings, it's online and it's critical. Life is close, didn't get tagged by it, but again, he's running out of options now all the way through. It's why he bails him out. Close to the screens, running right through. RB tries to adjust the aim, but 4 for him. Will he get the ace? Pop flash play, he's hunting for it, he wants it, but he's up against Mako. He's ready to deny, no clip inside, a reset potentially there for the third, but shut down. Safe hands, second round now on the board, earned for ASE.
And that's 2 in a row. One with a retake as DRX play passive post plants, and one just shutting down this B push. And we talked about the fact that YH almost caught Foxy9 on the entry last time. And Foxy was able to swing out through his cloud burst and get a really wide peek onto him. And I thought even in that situation, the YH was a bit unlucky not to be able to get the kill. That time, as soon as YH is picked off, Stax is too slow to be able to trade. And that gap between Foxy and the rest of the team rears its head once more.
It's knocked DRX down to the weaker guns, just the rifle for Buzz. Oh, yeah. Spotted him, didn't he? Mako's going to be seen, and now they're converging on him. Heavy in mid. Mako with the Sheriff, can't quite hit the flick.
And this is a serious theme of what we saw on Fracture 2. DRX losing 2 rounds down to an eco. And this is how ASE started that crazy run in the second half, was by winning crucial gun rounds and then knocking DRX's economy down into the dumps.
A lot of ults that they could utilize here. Try and push them back. Lockdown's going to be used preemptively.
This is
timed up though, yeah. YH uses his no command, but he didn't get off in time, so now they've got this ult to really contend with. No way! You got to turn around, man! Foxy9's getting away with it.
YH had the nade.
Just murder.
They wanted YH's nade to deny the lockdown. That's why he didn't turn around and try and deal with Foxy. But it's all gone to chaos.
Redetained. The players skipping, hopping this way, that way, not a gun in their hands, and the time is just being bled away from them. Cove, it's shredded to pieces now. Time ticking, no one's sticking. Smoking away, it's raw spam. Enough to get the job done, but yeah, just slight miscoordination there.
I mean, a bit more than slight.
I was being polite.
That's very polite of you, Bren. I really appreciate that. The players will love that when they listen back. But that is chaos, and that is a disaster for attacking Seoul Esports. So the idea is YH is trying to run forwards with his null command, get the nade onto the lockdown, and they can actually start this retake properly. And he must be begging for his teammates to deal with Foxy there. And Foxy stunned up with the frenzy. Yeah, is able to knock him to his knees.
Should have been dealt.
And that's so unfortunate for ASE because they got themselves into an economy advantage, and yet once more, DRX are able to fight their way out of it.
Slips away. No pushback again from this extremity control of A main. I said it before, DRX, they love to do it. They love to farm these orbs up. RB, he's on for his third reckoning.
That's very quick.
Good information gain, though.
It is, but it hasn't actually pulled anybody over.
Oh, I mean, the flash didn't connect yet still.
Wow.
HFMI takes the fight.
Doesn't care. He just doesn't
care. Swings right into it. Seeker's now popped off, though. DRX, they want to barrel forward. They're going to take this site. Brute force. Cove's dropped down. Snake bites. Spam. Will it be enough? Still gets the plan down. And the Viper's Pit as well. Layered on top. How do you chew through this one?
Buzz is falling back into that post-plant position again.
Yeah, he's really far back. Only this time they haven't given up Arc completely.
Oh no. Tell a lie, Buzz is going all the way back to A main.
Stax is going to be the one to hold down his position. Retake with the op, never ideal. Dash away to cut it up. Left to just life again, and he has to run away. Got to save that gun. Operator needs to be kept into the next.
And Life really wants to try and find value with the op. He's got 5 kills so far in 7 rounds. It's not bad by any means, but he's really struggling to find value early on. And that's just a little bit of information. They're happy to give their lives away.
They're hunting for it. They got the money.
Get the op. Can Stax punish this?
Yep. 2 seconds remaining. There it is.
They'll take that trade.
Can't carry that one forward. No family heirloom. So 2-5 being that scoreline in the map now, Josh. DRX.
And that is so bold from HFMI. So bold.
I really do love it, man. I mean, the times they get taken. Yeah, there's no noise cue off the flash connecting. He still swings for the fight.
What's even more insane than that as well to me, Brent, is that the 0 point from the KO had identified that there was like 3 players there. And so he knows he's going to be swinging into a stack of players. It's not a coordinated push. It's just him on his own. Chad. Absolute Chad.
Still makes the play.
That's the kind of stuff that really will catch off some teams that are looking a little more shaky. And yeah, we're talking about DRX being in a bit of a slump, but that's relative to their normal expectations, where they're going to dominate groups, look like a title contender. Them slumping is still being favored over quite a few teams in this tournament.
Just the Marshall, that reckoning. Again, makes his way through onto the side, clears it out. Clear indicator here that ASE, they want to try and fight the flood back into this one. Denied a chance to even let DRX get that post plant down, but time has been bought and a bit of a distraction. Mako on the back, and yeah, Bunt is none the wiser. All the way through, counter spam, flash round. It's Buzz. He's this way, that way. Spun.
Still want to go
trying to adjust this, still trying to go B. They've lifted up to just RB. And it's a thrifty win. I mean, it's all over the place there. It's all over the place, man.
Attacking Seoul, they stack the right site. But what on earth are DRX doing just hammering their heads into the B site when they hear a musket line? They hear 3 lines of infantry just lined up. And they still decide to send it back in with no utility just based off the lurk. I think that's an incredibly optimistic and ambitious play from DRX there on an anti-eco. Exactly the wrong way to play it. And attacking Seoul Esports will take those.
Absolutely. Got to jump on them. Opportunities like that. So maybe it's not looking too dire.
Right. Now Life tries to punish Mako.
And here it is. Mako's been doing this lurk when they've been doing this 4-1 split. Mako's been trying to take that space, punish. Immediate reaction into the smoke. HFMI goes, and there it is. The return of the fire. This way, that way, just up to Buzz. It's a 1v3. Picks up the spike and now repositioning, but he doesn't know where anybody is. Lack of information. He's got so many angles to watch for and play for.
I just don't think this is even possible. There's no way he thinks about YH being behind it this time, does he? He looks like he's
holding it. He's holding it. Spots him. YH running back as well. Waiting for the rest of his team. Fight's taken though. It's a little bit disjointed. Dodged Buzz. Is he really going to be that guy? Pushing forwards. All the way. Round. Buzz nails the shot. Are you not entertained?
That's exactly what the crowd is looking for. A 1v3 like that, played to perfection, and Buzz knows it. He was asked in the press conference who he thinks the most important player is going to be in this game, and he said me. I think it's going to be me. I'm the most important.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing why.
Confidence. I mean, you know, this guy puts up monstrous performances. You talk about Mako as the safe hands, the player is always able to just keep it calm in the clutch, but yeah, Buzz is good for moments like that too, playing a variety of roles.
And we're just seeing so many individualistic situations from DRX. That was carrying them through Fracture, to be honest, in a scoreline that was closer, I think, than a lot of people would have been expecting. And now here too, Buzz saves them. Perfectly for them.
Again, Life pushed up deep.
And look how much safer Mako is playing this time around, not looking to get punished by Life. DRX have been very heavy over towards A because they know they can take A main for free.
The reckoning again. It's going to be forcing them all the way back here. Monk dodging, juking, weaving in and out, not stunned up. Good job to stay alive towards the back of the side, but it's eventually traded. Buzz is there. Swings right the way around. Seekers, they all go. Fallen down, broken apart. Mako is on that flank, and that's going to be important now. With the lockdown at play, it's pushed them all into very predictable angles.
Life could double updraft this, and he might have a chance, but that would give away where he's flanking from.
And he's just waiting it out. Very intelligent. Fight taken. Mako as well. Flanks on flanks. Life has been noted. Nobody giving him any sort of angle, any chance! Does he need it though? He's almost making his own opportunities.
Good
High
try.
tide. RB puts himself off there, maybe looking to try and spam. The cascade, a bit of anti-synergy. Buds up close, stacks, returns of fire, swinging all the way through. That is 3-7. It's scrappy.
And tragic there as well, you're right. It's the cascade just blocking their own flash from YH. I like it. And a timeout here, tactical timeout being taken by Attacking Soul Esports as they tried to right the ship. There's so many different things that they could be doing here. And the biggest one that comes to mind is contesting for A main control. DRX only have one initiator here. They've only got one set of flashes, and they're unlikely to want to use the Trailblazer that early to contest over a piece of map control like that. So I'd like to see ASE play with life over at A. You know, set up a flash for him. Go there early with the Sky, flash him onto an angle. If there's people there, fight it with him and the KO. If not, leave him. You can maybe push him a little deeper with the KO knife, just to grab a bit of extra info. But there's ways of forcing fights for life where he doesn't just have to be playing B all the time.
Yeah. Just solo trying to catch the Mako lurk.
But trying to figure out the best adjustments, it can be simpler in a scrim or when you're at home, you know, you're in your own comfort zone. Here, where there's a crowd staring at you, cheering on Buzz winning a 1v3 against you, and you're staring opposite a team that has experience at Masters, at Champions, deep runs, big tournament placings, then it can be harder to come up with the ideas.
Oh, it's daunting. A lot asked of them to try and adapt. But 2 more chances in this first half to do so. Maybe they can again even it out. We saw similar scenes really on Fracture. Intermittent with them winning their rounds. Pushing forwards though, they want to make a pop flash play. Over the top towards A. Buzz, he watches for it, he calls it.
And they do fight for A control, but this on their eco.
Still wants to try and fight for a little bit more. It's mid being explored. This way, that way, it's returned with the fire. Bun gets the trade.
And Bun's got his Reckoning online. That push over towards A got him the ult orb that he needed. And the weaponry's not looking that bad. I would believe in HFMI with a Bucky any day of the week as well. So,
what can he do?
As long as HFMI is able to hold on at the back of the B side. Now, having said that, DRX taking the spike and heading towards A main. The Reckoning, though, is such an important tool, and ASE are getting good information in mid. Unfortunately, they believe that it's heading to B.
Yeah, they think it's a B push just because they spotted out Mako. And look at the util. Expended out towards B, expecting there to be more players behind Mako. Instead, it's a vacant site onto A. DRX realize it.
They've just over-rotated. The problem is, if ASE had one player here, Buzz wouldn't be able to take such an aggressive position. And now, ASE have got to re-clear all of these spots. It could be A main, it could be Art, it could be deep into Secret, Flowers. There's so many places that they have to clear. So that Reckoning doesn't work as well.
Can they fight over this? Flash dissuades them. Running forwards, a run and gun with the Stinger. Why not? If it does the job, if it works, still time is really running short here. And Anna Swarm's deaded close to the corner. Buzz forced to dead it out, and that's all of them cleaned up. Time, plenty enough available. ASE take the necessary fights.
And even with a live buy, are able to convert that one. So finding a retake there, even without using, you know, major ultimates, that they'll still have availability for next round. You know, the Reckoning is still there. They've got Null Command to work with. They're set up actually for quite a decent half on a map where we expected DRX to absolutely come out and dominate. I think there's, again, been enough gaps in how DRX are playing this to offer ASE these opportunities.
Here we go, last round now with this first half.
I do really like the idea of fighting A here, but Life is on the opposite side of the map. Are they going to send a Reckoning and just make DRX pay for every inch?
Yeah, it's a flash.
No, it's just a little passive.
Yeah.
They've given it up.
Snakebite as well, maybe to just fake like they were, disrespecting it and holding that space, but instead, no, again, same game plan. One step closer to the Reckoning. Back over towards B. Back has been containing, so there's been no deep lurk, but again, it's Life who's playing close to this position. What is the call here? Looks like DRX is still discussing it, because back over towards A. Like this refight towards A main, but now there's another flash as well. Will there be the swing and the peek off of it? Yes, RB lands it and sprays him down.
They go 3 for 2 there. Attacking Soul Esports still with a chance, but Life is a long way from the action. He's just waiting for the information. He's so scared of getting caught by Mako and losing the round completely. So once more, DRX have positioning everywhere that they would want over towards A.
This feels so awkward now as well.
And recall that Mako has these snakebite lineups from mid.
Yeah.
So his positioning might look disconnected, and it is in terms of trading and fighting, that kind of thing. But he's going to be able to send snakebites.
What YH has to do. No command, rips forwards, both the Nana Swarms. They did it early there, that was forced out from that ultimate. Now you see the snakebites from miles away. Mobility's being suppressed there. Life towards the side with a shoddy, diffusing. Not going to be able to stick. Vulnerable, though, 4 in a round, RB. Beautiful stuff. All managed well, and that's going to be that 8-4 half.
All in all, DRX able to contain that, and Attacking Soul Esports now go into the side where they've had such little success recently. Like I said, in their last 3 matches of Pearl, although with some different compositions, they've won only 5 out of 22 of their attacking rounds. So this is going to get even more difficult for the underdog team.
It's going to be that much harder, isn't it? We'll see just how... Yeah, let's find out. I mean, listen, you look at the statistics, you track it as well. Their attack side on Pearl hasn't been good for ASE in the domestic region they've been playing in China. But who knows? Listen, there's always a chance of that step up as well. Maybe the preparation is there. Maybe they've spotted some of the weaknesses in the way DRX do play this map.
I mean, you look at the minimap, it looks like we're going to have a massive clash in A main. DRX going for something that Attacking Soul Esports didn't show us too much of, which was those big clashes. They fought for it occasionally, but we'll see what the difference is like.
There it is, the exchange as well. Birds flying right past one another.
Yeah, they give it up. They don't want to fight with the Cascade at their back. So DRX doing the same thing, giving over control of that alt orb to HFMI.
It's interesting, isn't it? You know, the full prioritization, DRX trying to get the Reckoning online ASAP. Instead, it's ASE prioritizing the Seekers.
I mean,
ult orbs.
It wasn't just the ult orbs that were helping RB get his ults online so quickly. He's got 20 kills.
Yeah, he's 20 and 9. That doesn't hurt at all, does it? Trailblazer. Used a little bit later. Smoke forwards, Nana Swarms as well popped off here. Just an attempt to delay by DRX. Gathering up now with the reinforcements. Will they try and flood, or are they just going to be trying to wait as well for the plan to go down? As a flash, it is an attempt. As the plan goes down, Mako is not watching for it. The reposition, Life eventually dealt with, but it's all down to Stacks. He's low, 20 health. Shots firing straight through, blind as anything with the smokes, but it's dealt with, it's traded, and so the pistol goes to ASE.
Got to see whether ASE continue playing those aggressive post-plant positions. The difference in post-plant spots, so drastic between those two teams. DRX were falling back into really safe positions, launching utility at the plant. I mean, look how close HFMI and Life are here. And not just that, the 0 point comes out. And it tags onto RB, and that means there's no possibility for a high tide. It tags also onto Stacks, no possibility of flashes. You know, that 0 point is going to be a really important post-plant tool to stop retakers from taking space. This is strange. They just allow RB to take the orb. Everybody from ASE around that area, but none of them choosing to fight over it.
Yeah,
worried perhaps about a 5-person stack.
Worried potentially as well if any pop flash plays through it, but no. It's given up. Mid's starting to be explored, but splitting themselves up.
This is where the lurkers can't be too fast.
Shots here.
They go for it anyway. It's dangerous in those kind of situations. You can definitely get caught.
Damage was done to Monk, but of course, heal in the back pocket. They've really slowed this one down and given DRX a full read because they've got nobody stacked towards B. All the way, running it through. Foxy9 attempts to disrupt again, and there it is. Backup is online. Mako pushing all the way through with the classics making short work of them. It's turned on his head just like that. It's up to HFMI, the 1v1. RB picks up the Bulldog. Cove to reposition. Watching on the edge.
That's so bold. That is so bold from HFMI. At any point there, RB could swing through his Cove, but RB's gone for the reposition.
It's still available. Of course, HFMI does not opt to use it. Needs to keep the gun out. That's roughly where RB is, but again, could have repositioned anywhere. Will he guess correct? It's all about the timing. Spots it, lands it. Beautiful. Lovely clutch, and listen, maybe it shouldn't have got that close. Maybe it shouldn't have come down to the 1v1, but it's a round on the board, nevertheless.
We saw one of these situations on Fractured too, where DRX were very, very close to winning the eco situation straight after the pistol round, and it damaged the option for ASE to go for an effective bonus. And I think that's what we're going to see again. You know, you think about how you're going to generate a comeback here. You need the pistol, but you really want to start doing damage in rounds like this, round 15. It's going to be hard for the Chinese squad to do that here.
But they still can. Flash over the top there.
With the 0 point.
Control here, yeah.
Trying to find Mako and stop the one-way and stop the snake bites from being a thing. Instead, Mako, he didn't even deploy them yet.
I really like this. Could be spotting a bit of a weakness here in the defensive setups. It's, again, bring them all the way into the sides. Fragment nades, snake bites, everything. Tossed into the back of Horse to clear it out, so the site should be theirs. Inside the orb, though.
And now the aggressive post-plant positions of ASE should be great.
Oh, Bunt has taken so much damage from that. Does stick it, though, so they get themselves into the post. And it's aggressive. Like you said, Josh, Trailblazer leaps it in. Dash forwards from Foxy9. Cuts that one forwards. Where's the rest of the help? It's a team flash, but yeah, okay. The fire has returned. RB's quick. Just help out. Left up to Monk. No snake bites. Got the angle watched for here, but with just a Vandal. Trying to spam is dangerous. RB sticking, already gaining half. Can't quite land the bullets, and yep. Just all the way through.
Monk will be happy to save the Vandal, but also if he goes down, still enough money to buy for the next. And in that situation, DRX anticipating those more aggressive post-plant situations and getting Stax' utility in the right place. I mean, take a look at this from Foxy9. He's got that flash around the corner, and they're able to clear people out. This is what they didn't quite realize was happening on the pistol. And honestly, about half of winning a Valorant round, any Valorant round, is getting a read on what your opponents are doing.
Yeah. Gonna have that appropriate idea. Obviously, it was that half by 6-9 being that scoreline, but finally some rifles in the hands of ASE. Deep high tide dropped across. Stax was not contested on that spot, so he's picking up one step closer now to the Seekers.
Yeah, and when attacking Seoul Esports are trying to take B control or mid control,
Having fun with it.
They don't really have anyone deep in A. I think that's a good idea. That's what Life was saying at the press conference. You know, they were coming in to have a bit of fun with it and to learn.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Before they arrived and before they scrimmed, they said they wanted to win the championship. But I think expectations were readdressed somewhat quickly after they got the chance to
maybe
play a little.
Practice, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Reckoning through. Okay, what a shot to land with the updraft. Mako was not ready for that one. Could not reposition in time. Seekers let loose and across here. It's a pivot. Just two players. No one's watching main this entire time. It's been contained. Foxy9 still there. Smoke dropped down. He repositions. Watching. Still containing. ASE, do they really still want to commit into this one? They don't have any control of the site.
Foxy9 is going to hear them coming like a herd of elephants.
Oh, and the shot's just not quite landing here still. He's still close. Foxy9. Dash now active once more. Off the back of that kill.
And they didn't leave anybody be as an option to go back in that direction.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. One to the reposition. On for the ace. And the time pressure. It's all there. Seconds ticking away. The crowd chanting. The crowd denying the chance. We'll be seeing a repeat of what Boostio was achieving, but the DRX, they can be pleased. 6-10, starting to now sail away with it.
It does feel like that. And just some unusual decisions in terms of committing to the site, but to be honest, we saw the same thing from DRX. They had that round where they almost assuredly should have taken an exit and pivoted in the first half and instead just forced their heads into a brick wall over towards B. So both teams finding it a little hard to find the weak site. And attacking Seoul Esports are going to take a timeout here. It's 6-10. They've got a deficit. They've also got no money to buy. So this one likely to send DRX up to 11. And this is where you really get to see a bit of the tier difference that we were expecting between the two teams. It's not been completely clean sailing here for DRX. You know, sometimes we've seen them in the group stage and they've just battered teams. 13-2, 13-3.
Yep.
Goodbye, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Other times they have been a bit more shaky. You know, they've still been able to sail through most of the times that they've been in the group, but you know, every now and then you just see the form is just not really up to par where the expectations are. They are a team as well that, you know, we thought that they kind of broke through the hurdle as well, you know.
Yeah,
Champs last year, being able to make that deep run.
And then everything after Champions has been them in a bit of an identity crisis, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Maybe this is the
which roster to run.
Maybe this is the tournament for them to figure it out. And, you know, it's not just which roster to run. I think it's also like how they want their style to work too. But they've got some time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And
beginning.
They're not looking like they're in danger of losing that. Whoops! That 0 point went miles away. So RB escapes, and he has all of his utility online.
Yep, still maybe intending to catch on to him. Foxy9. Dash is there. He realizes they're running right all the way through. Oh my goodness, you're body blocking me. Get out of my way. Shot. Didn't quite land there. Maybe just the movement and accuracy as well. It went wide. An exchange of the gun. So, rifle in the hand. Want to try and see that initiation. Dash to disengage. There was a judge up top, but now that threat is no longer there. And it's still that aggressive post plant.
Yeah, really, really aggro.
Deep smoke again. High tide now there. No command. As soon as the first layer and wave of that util is used, it's enough to really bog DRX down. They can't use anything to break past this chokehold, this crossfire setup. It has to be the raw duels taken, and Foxy9 swings into it. There's nobody to help him. Where's the cover? And fire, Monk! It's raining down lead. He's handed that perfect chance. Eventually got a little bit more, but he does spot out where Stax is, and that'll be easily done. So, get themselves to 7th. Massive round, yeah.
They come straight out of a timeout with bad weaponry, and they still manage to get the site and play another one of these really close post plants on B. Very much not how any team is playing this map at the moment, in terms of, you know, post plant positioning and the composition that they're using too. But it does make sense for what they're running. They don't have those nanoswarms to be able to work with, so playing passive positions, not going to be as useful. And here we see YH, the player that helped take all of the utility offline, now pick up and operate.
He's still got
on
the
attack.
Yeah, I mean, they exchanged the weapons around like did. Well, that was from DRX's side, excuse me, but yeah, picks up the operator for attack side now. I mean, it's intriguing. Definitely unorthodox. Viper's Pit. Laid down at their feet through the choke point. There's a lot of util to slow them down. So the Trailblazer had to wait out an Nana Swarm, and there's a flank, this deep push from Foxy9. He's got all the information in the world for his team. That's how they can afford to stack over towards A. But it is being watched for. And the shot's there.
Who needs a Killjoy turret?
Yeah.
Got a KO with the
YH with the off. Magical stuff. Plant still needs to go down though, and they want to play up close inside the pit. They deny it. Chance to get into the post plant. Still, 50 seconds remaining. How does this get offset? Spike picked back up. Life's still close here. He's got the judge. It's a bit of a team flash. Up close. What is that? He's updrafted.
Oh, that's
going to take him out. Stax hits a nasty shot with the reactions, and the spike eventually planted. Mako got himself a judge now as well. Himself falling from the main position. Fragment nade will push them off from the tap. Initially, a flash play to attempt a sturdy operator to try and spam with, to try and play the post to Shorty as well. It's not the right tool for the job. You just have to back away, and it's all over the place. It's carnage at its core, but gets the job done, doesn't it, for DRX?
Back-to-back teams with the worst economy winning here in round 17, round 18, but flipped in the opposite direction. What is this shot? Lovely from Stax.
That is disgusting.
Lovely. And then the rest of it, ASE just struggled so much in terms of getting the plant down. They had the pit, but it didn't extend very deep into the site. Serious difficulties there, being able to get into a comfortable spot, especially with YH using the operator instead of buying himself a rifle, trying to get value out of the op that they'd picked up.
No nuance in the play though this time around again. Straight forwards to the A site.
It feels so similar to Fracture when they just got to the end of the game.
Flash in the back.
Hits constantly.
Life trying to set up off of it. Wasn't supported though, wasn't timed particularly well. The reckoning's there, DRX. Watchful eye with all the rifles. No attempts to push through into Art, into the back of the side, and again they can't get that plant down.
Is this a playbook issue from ASE? Like I said, we saw the same on the first map. It just feels like it gets to about this spot in their attack half, and They just feel like they want to go for the same thing over and over and over. 3v5 now where they're not in a great spot. They've got enough money to be able to buy for next, so they might just want to try and send this. Their positioning is so committed.
Trying to send it here. Adjustment. Foxy9 with the operator. Swings the aim down, through the smoke, pops through. Buzz is expecting, he's playing anti-flash. And yep, he expects it. HFMI was there. Plan still being stuck though, but oh, Mako. Quick to adjust.
Ready for it.
Quick to run him down. So that's the 12th round gain here, Josh. One more step away from locking up the series.
ASE finding themselves in a difficult spot here. The economy is not going to be too bad. Monk, though, not with very much money. The rest of the team should be able to invest into rifles. DRX are going to be able to... Look how many players there are on the minimap right now for DRX. They have almost everybody over here. There's only Stax that was playing towards me, and then even he ended up joining the rest of the team. They're just not afraid of ASE running any sort of fake or pivot on them, having a lurker. They're so confident that it's just going to be a straight-up A hit.
Yeah, they know it's straight up. Again, I know one's not there. Again, deep flash. Blade Storm in his hands, ripping his way across. It's so similar, and allows Foxy9 the timing. He knows what they're going for. Orb's being farmed up, takes the peak. Dash to get out.
Happy birthday, HFMI.
Yeah. This feels like a DRX that are regaining a bit of confidence, you know. Often you see this team they play, looking at the cams afterwards, and there's a lot of smiles, a lot of exchange of the fist bumps, but Stax has been quite stern comparative to how he usually is. Life over the top, that was an updraft play still, the angle's watched for Foxy9. He lands his, comes down to this.
He wants the duel.
He wants the fight, and he will take it. 3 now for him. Set up again for the ace, with the shorty out denied there, spamming through. It looks like it is finished. It looks like it's finalized, and that will do it. Series